There was once a man who had two sons. The older one, steady, responsible, always where he was supposed to be. And the younger son, already dreaming of a life beyond these walls. One day, the younger son walked up to his father. No hesitation, no softness. The younger son said, "Father, give me the share of property that is coming to me." The father looks up, his eyes filled with a deep, silent sorrow. With quiet understanding, he gave his younger son the inheritance. No lecture, no warning, just the sound of everything breaking. The father gave him what he asked for, even if it meant losing him. The son gathers the wealth, his face hardened by restless, selfish ambition. A few days later, the young man packed everything up, money in hand, dreams in his head, and he left. He realized his son didn't just leave home. He left wisdom. He left protection. He left everything that had kept him grounded. The son travels through bustling, exotic marketplaces, people, excitement, freedom. And at first, it felt like he had finally found life. He spent it freely. No limits, no restraint. Money flowed out of his hands like water. New friends surrounded him, laughing, celebrating, always there, as long as the money lasted. And for a while, it worked. It always does until it doesn't go his way anymore. Little by little, his money began to disappear. The laughter faded. The friends disappeared. The doors that once opened, now closed. He finally realized that the fair-weather friends vanished into the dark, leaving him entirely alone. And as if that wasn't enough, a famine hit the land. Food became scarce. Everything became harder. The young man who once had everything now had nothing. He begs for scraps, but the villagers turn their faces away coldly. Hunger gnaws at his belly, a constant, sharp reminder of his pride. The only job he could find was to work in a muddy, desolate field, feeding pigs. Rain pours down, turning the ground into thick mud. For someone raised the way he was, this wasn't just difficult, it was humiliating. The pigs fill themselves, and he realizes they have more than him. The son watches them, his stomach cramping with a desperate, hollow ache. He became so desperate, started looking at the food meant for the pigs, and wishing he could eat it. Tears mix with the rain on his face, washing away his arrogance. He looks up at the stormy sky, feeling the weight of his isolation. He remembers home, warm, bright, and full. The warm, golden light of his father's dining hall. The smell of fresh bread comes back to him. Warm meals, full plates, and never going hungry. That's when it hit him. Even the hired servants at home have plenty to eat. They sit at tables, laughing, safe from the biting cold of famine. He realizes the depth of his foolishness, his heart heavy with regret. He has wasted his life and his father's love on nothingness. Starving, shaking, he finally saw what he had become. He wipes the mud from his face, looking toward the distant horizon. A moment of clarity, a pause, a realization. He decides to return home. Despite the shame burning in his chest, he finally saw the truth. He vowed, "I'll return, not as a son, but a servant." He rehearses his apology, his voice a dry, rasping whisper in the wind. The words in his head, "Father, I have sinned. I am no longer worthy. Make me like one of your servants." He begins the long, arduous trek back toward his father's estate. Each step grew heavier. The road showed no mercy. The land begins to look familiar. He's getting closer. The sun is going down. And he's running out of time. He stops to catch his breath, heart pounding, unsure what waits ahead. Will his father even recognize the man he has become? Caught between fear and hope, he chooses to continue home. He adjusts his ragged cloak, trying to hide his wretched appearance. There it is, the home he left, now standing right in front of him. He stops, breath trembling, then forces himself forward. Through the weight of his shame, he keeps his eyes fixed on the house, his only remaining goal. His father's house stands tall, ready to welcome him home. He is no longer the man who left, but a humbled, changed man. He steps onto the familiar road, ready to face his past. The father stands on the porch, his eyes scanning the dusty horizon. He shades his eyes against the harsh, midday sun. A solitary, ragged figure appears on the distant road. The father freezes, his breath catching in his throat. He sees the way he walks, slow, tired, familiar, and he knows it's his son. Without hesitation, the father begins to sprint across the fields. The son stops, bowing his head in shame and exhaustion. The father reaches him, breathless and weeping with joy. Before the son could say a word, before he could finish his speech, the father embraced him, held him tightly, as if he had never left. The father silences him with a gentle hand against his cheek. He calls to his servants, "Bring the fattened calf and have it prepared. Let's have a feast and celebrate. Bring the finest robe from the house. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. For this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found." The servants rush to obey, their faces filled with excitement. The father is overjoyed and can't keep his eyes off the younger son. The feast is prepared, and the celebration comes to life. Music begins to drift across the quiet, golden fields. While others celebrate, the older brother is left in the field. He hears the sounds of laughter and music from afar. A servant runs to him. "Your brother is back. Your brother is back, and everyone is celebrating," he says. The older brother scowls, his jaw tightening in bitter resentment. He drops his tools and turns away from the celebration. The father leaves the party to find his eldest son. He finds him standing alone in the shadows of the barn. The father reaches out. "My son, please, come in and celebrate with us." The older son pulls away, his voice cold and sharp. "I stayed, I worked, I have served you, and I never disobeyed your command. Yet you never gave me a young goat that I might celebrate with my friends." The father looks at him with deep, patient eyes. He said, "My son, you are always with me, and all that is mine is yours. We must celebrate this miraculous return. Your brother was dead, but now he lives again." His words linger, and something in him shifts. The father reached out again. "Please, come share in this joy with us." The older son hesitates, then takes a tentative step with his father toward the celebration. The younger son stands in the doorway, unsure, humbled, waiting. He bows his head, and when their eyes meet, the older brother hesitates. A quiet understanding passes between the two siblings. What was lost is found and made whole again. This is God's love. He forgives, He restores, and He always welcomes us home.